If you're struggling with power or coordination or nose up or having enough space for your power pocket or balance, any of these things, then this video is for you. Today, we're going to be talking about posture. This is like one of the master keys in all of the disc golf throws, in the backhand, in the forehand, in the putt. Today, we're going to be going over on how to have correct posture and what this means for your disc golf game. All of the many benefits that come with it. And so, let's get into it. This one fix literally has a ripple down effect in your entire game. In disc golf, this means that you're in a quarter squat-like position with your weight evenly distributed throughout both of your feet and your body weight through the center of your mass. Let's look at the first thing that an athletic stance can help you out with. Balance. The joints are not at their end of range of motion, so if anything happens, they can react. It is stable, and you're obviously not going to fall over. But if you're in a more upright position, less athletic, then some of your joints will be at the end of their range of motion, meaning if something happens, then it can't compensate for the movement, and you end up either falling over, losing balance, having less of a good throw. Athletic posture activates large muscle groups like your legs, which are the largest muscles in the body, and your core. So this means that you're going to get a lot more power potential on your throws. You're going to be able to throw it a lot further because you're able to utilize these muscles effectively. If I'm throwing two upright, which is obviously not an athletic stance, I can't properly utilize the muscles. Let's say pushing off this left leg, I'm utilizing all of these muscles. If I'm two upright, I'm not using these muscles, and so I lose a lot of power doing that. Another thing that athletic posture helps is your coordination. This will help increase your consistency, and you'll throw what you intend to throw more of the time, and it will lead to a decrease in scores. The biggest thing in an athletic stance that I say to most people that they need to change is hinging forwards at the hips. So let's say I'm throwing in a backhand. Most people will be too upright with their torso. Obviously, at the end of an anhyzer, you might be like that. But you need to hinge forward at the hips. If you look, I've got a lot more potential to move out, but I also have more space, let's say, for the power pocket. If I'm too upright, I'm going to come off plane because I've got no space to come into here, or I'm going to start rounding or doing something along those lines. And so, it's a huge one. If you struggle with having not enough space in your power pocket, if you hinge forward at the hips, so I mean, look at the angle of my torso from here, some people throw like this, to here. Then, now I've got enough space to come into the power pocket. So that's going to increase my power, it's going to increase my consistency, and it's going to stop me from compensating, because up here, whenever you're not in an athletic position, you're going to be at the end of a range of motion. You're going to do things that compensate. And so the more you do that compensates for something else, the more you get into that negative loop. And so the more you get into this athletic position, you can then fix this, which then probably fix something else, and you'll keep getting these positive loops to improve your form bit by bit. So let's look at putting. If I'm putting, hinging forward at the hips means when I throw the putt, I'm able to throw it normally. If I was too upright, I'm going to yank it off to the right because my hand is going naturally where it wants to go, and it's reached the end of its range of motion. So it's a more comfortable position. I also obviously get a lot more power because I'm able to increase my range of motion. I'm able to recruit muscles from larger muscles in my body. So when I'm putting, if I'm then too upright, also it's further away from my center. From looking at it, I have less coordination, I have less control over what's going on, as to whereas if I'm active, I'm engaged, I'm focusing on the target, it's going to go in more often. And then if I'm too upright, I can still try and do the same thing, but then boom, I've reached the end of my range of motion with the arm, and boom, where's it gone? It's gone straight off to the right. Last couple of points now. Because of this increase in range of motion, I'm more versatile in things like weird stances and uneven ground. This is properly important for the forehand, but also obviously for the other shots. But I think the forehand can come up with a lot of injuries. However, these can be alleviated. Obviously, with proper warming up and things, they will drastically decrease the amount of chance that you have for an injury. But your posture, if you look at my arm, if I have correct posture, I'm not putting as much stress on my joints and my muscles. This is the same for the backhand. It's not just about the elbow, it's about all of the joints and muscles that you have. If I'm too upright, this goes into an uncomfortable position, and it's putting, through with these shots, it's putting loads of stress on certain joints. And then if you have all of that stress in an uncomfortable position, then you're setting yourself up for maximum danger. So instead of throwing up like this, bend your legs, get in that athletic position, right? Decrease the angle at your torso. Look at some of the pros, look at some of their shots, okay? And then you're gonna put less stress on your joints, and so you can have a better throw. This is just an example with the forehand. But if you look, if I increase the torso angle, I get, instead of being upright, I get more of an angle here, which means less stress, obviously, but then I'm able to have more, I guess, whip. I don't know what the word is, don't quote me on that. So then it increases my power. But all of these things, all of the times that you increase your posture, or you improve your posture, you improve other things as well. You improve your power and so on. And so spot the pattern. Look at all of the amateur players, or most of the amateur players that you know, versus some of the pro players. The more pro you are, the better your posture is going to be. This is why people from other sports can transition into disc golf quite well. I found it quite easy to throw reasonably far straight away. So did some of my other friends who had a good understanding of athletic posture. So it really, really has a big impact. If you know your posture well, then you're probably going to know other sports well. There's other factors as well, but spot the pattern. So you can improve your posture and make it properly good. It's a really, really good foundation for the rest of your throw. And so that's a way that you can really quickly improve your form, and then obviously improve your game, improve your scores. If you know that, then you can have a pro's posture, and then boom, suddenly you're a pro instead of being an amateur. Thank you very much for watching the video. This has been the Behold Disc Golf, the Disc Tutor, and peace.